Hello guys, it's Bartosz Michalak. I'm today with Lauren. Hello Lauren,
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
And please tell us what you're doing in Poland, what's your mission with this delegation?
So I'm here in Poland for a couple of days teaching at the university, teaching about Chinese social media and influencer marketing to students who are, possibly thinking about working in China or starting businesses connected with China, so trying to give them some tactical advice.
And what is your experience with China? Did you live there? Did you make your business? Can you please tell us a little bit more?
Sure. So I actually lived in China for over 8 years. I was there originally to study Chinese and then stayed there and continued working for many, many years. And while I was there, because it was a pretty long period of time, so I worked in a number of industries, but I guess my main experience was in marketing, public relations, and the entertainment industry as well.
So is the marketing different than in US, in Europe?
Very different.
Very different.
Very different. So the biggest thing is that all the platforms, the social media platforms that you're used to in the Western world do not exist in China, right? They're blocked in China. And so if you want to do marketing for your business in China, you need to learn about a completely different set of social media platforms. And so that in and of itself is a challenge. Also, when it comes to marketing in China, marketing on social media and working with influencers is actually, due to some cultural reasons, it's actually much more important and more effective than it is in the West. So there's a lot to learn.
Yeah. So if a Polish company will go to China, they want to start business development there, then they can forget about any Facebook, other social media. They have to start everything from scratch, yes?
Yes, because there are some Chinese people who will use Western social media platforms, but if you are only sticking to the Western social media platforms, you're really limiting yourself to a very, very small group of consumers. So if you want to be found by most Chinese people, then you need to be thinking about platforms like Weibo, WeChat, and now there are some other up-and-coming platforms such as Douyin, Xiaohongshu, which is Little Red Book, or even Taobao live streaming. These are 3 up-and-coming platforms that a lot of smaller brands are actually using as well.
Okay, Lauren, can you please give us some examples, some industries that you worked on development of social media in China?
So some of the most popular ones that I've worked with are tourism and travel. Obviously there's a lot of places in the US in particular, US and Europe as well, that are trying to attract Chinese tourists. So I've worked with a lot of those types of companies. There's also cosmetics, skincare, fashion, and now I'm getting more and more interest from some, for example, mommy baby, like children's, maybe infant formulas or things like that, as well as health and fitness, because health and fitness is actually a growing trend in China as well.
Krakow is the very famous tourist city in Poland, and I would like to ask your advice, for example, for a hotel or another company in tourism industry. They would like to advertise in China. What kind of advice can you give them?
Well, I think that you should definitely open up accounts on Chinese social media platforms. It's oftentimes either free or inexpensive to do that, and I strongly suggest that when you do that, you make sure that you get your account verified, which will prove to people that this is actually your brand account. And because I think it's very important that if people want to search for you, that they're able to find you on Chinese social media. I also think that, especially for travel brands, that they should be inviting some Chinese influencers to come to their location, come to their property, and to create some beautiful videos, take photographs, create travel itineraries, and they can share that on Chinese social media platforms. I think nowadays, like I mentioned, in addition to Weibo and WeChat, which are kind of the core social media platforms in China, we actually see a lot of travel brands using what I mentioned, Xiaohongshu or Little Red Book has become very popular for travel content. As well as Douyin, which is a short video platform, but there's a lot of user-generated content as well. So you can get any visitors to your city if you create a hashtag and start to get the momentum going. You can get a lot of any regular visitor who's coming to your city or your location. You can get them to create videos and almost help you with your Chinese social media promotion.
So it's kind of TikTok, yes?
It's TikTok, yes, yeah. So in the West, everyone's used to TikTok has become very popular recently, and Douyin is the Chinese version of TikTok, and it's actually much more mature than TikTok. So there's a lot more features, a very large user base, and we see a lot more industries using it. TikTok is still kind of in its early stages.
So it's rather going into influencers, using them for marketing rather than creating your own articles or photos.
I think you can do that as well, but I think that the thing about working with influencers is that especially in Chinese society, there's a high reliance on word of mouth marketing. People really want to hear from their friends and family, especially with something like travel, right? They hear where their friends and family went to travel, right? Or when they're thinking about going to a place, they're going to talk to their friends and family about it and say, what do you think about this place, right? Because it's a high ticket item and it takes time, right, to travel somewhere. So they're really going to talk to people around them. And in China, influencers are almost seen as an extension of your friends, because you have that close relationship with them. You're following them online. So hearing that they went to, for example, Krakow and they loved it, and they show you, their experience there, that's going to give you a lot of inspiration, and you're going to feel, you're going to trust that what they're telling you is true, and that you're not going to show up there and find out it's a horrible place to go, right? Sure. So they put a lot more trust in influencers than they do in advertisements or information that's being put out by a brand. But that's not to say I do think that the brand or the destination should be, like I said, they should open up a brand account. They should be putting out some of their own content. But I think that they should also be working with influencers as well.
So something every business owner will ask you, are there any measures about using influencers? I'm not saying on return on investment, but you mean some measures that will show that it's more likely that if somebody from your network, your family will recommend something, they will actually go there or use this product. Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not good at remembering stats, but I would be glad to share with you that you can, link to or include in the video. But there have been actually quite a few studies, particularly with the travel industry as well as cross-border e-commerce, that have shown that influencers and friends and family are actually some of the most influential factors when they're deciding where to travel or what to buy from cross-border e-commerce, or what to purchase when they're traveling abroad. So there have actually been quite a few studies that back this up. Yeah.
Big topic, social media in China. Definitely you have a lot of expertise. Where can Polish companies or people that are interested find you?
Well, I'm actually very active on LinkedIn, so that's probably the best place to go, is to find me on LinkedIn, and I'm sure you'll include it, but my name's Lauren Hallanan, and so people can search for me on LinkedIn. I write a lot of articles for various publications, including Forbes. I also have a podcast on China influencer marketing and a newsletter, and I've also written a book on the topic. So the best place to go is to go to LinkedIn, and I often post whenever I'm putting out new content, so they can get all of that right there.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Of course.
For a nice talk.
Yeah.